Put it on. Hello.
Say something.
Hello, Facebook Live audience.
I guess that's backwards. That is backwards.
To them it is.
So there's really no point in us having it.
It's fine. They understand.
I don't know if they do.
E.T. is trying to be helpful.
Well, it's backwards. You can't even read what it says.
But look at how helpful he's trying so hard. Just let him. Don't tell him.
Oh, I guess I need to look it up on mine.
Don't tell him it's backwards.
It is back. They're gonna know it's backwards.
But don't tell E.T.
Hi everyone. You cannot see who's in here with us, but I bet it's someone fun.
Remember about your volume?
It's already down.
Oh my god.
Hi everyone. It's not down already.
This is the part of the live feed where we listen to the live feed on Megan's phone.
Okay, I can see people now. Kind of. Golly. This is hard. Everything is hard. We're in a new location. If you can tell. This is, okay, there's something there. Now we can see. Gosh, it's like this is brand new every time we do it.
Not for me. I'm a pro. Old veteran.
Okay. Hi, friends. Welcome to our new location. For our season finale, we wanted to bring you something new to look at, like E.T. holding a backward sign.
E.T. phones home, and we are inside a home. My home. Welcome to my home.
This is my home. Anna likes your mug because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
My mug is E.T., like our friend here. Okay. Well, good evening. Welcome to the season finale of Megan's Movie Club, brought to you by Thomas's bay window overlooking his backyard. Don't worry, when I live here, I'm going to put lots of flowers back there, and it's going to be beautiful. And we can host new Megan's Movie Club lives back there, and there'll be lots of pretty things to look at.
Okay.
Okay. I want to tell you, so today's our last Megan's Movie Club, and because we are opening Robinson Film Center on July 1st. When? Wednesday. July 1st.
This July 1st.
Yeah.
July 1st, 2020. It's happening this year.
Yes.
Crazy.
Anna likes my mug as well. Thanks, Anna.
And what is it that is shown there? Movies.
Movies. We have independent films.
Movies.
We have classic films.
That's right.
We have documentary films.
I almost forgot.
We have
Movies.
International films. We have locally made films. Oh my gosh, so many films. I feel like Forrest Gump right now. Yes. So on opening day, on July 1st, if you want to come on opening day, you're in for a treat because we're showing something called the Quarantine Cat Film Fest.
Oh.
Does that sound like a joy?
What's that about?
It's a bunch of films about cats doing silly things in the middle of our quarantine. There's people had a lot more time at home with their animals. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I mean, dogs make pretty good videos too, don't you think?
I believe so.
But for some reason, cat videos are just a lot more popular on the internet. I like a dog video because they do some silly things too. But cats are pretty funny. So there's a theater called the Row House Cinema. No, E.T.
Oh, no. He's fine, everybody.
And they put together this annual compilation of fantastic cat videos. And this is a special version because it's Quarantine Cat Film Fest. So for one day only, July 1st, you can catch the Quarantine Cat Fest. It's going to be a blast, guys. And what else? Oh, you know what's going to happen on July 2nd?
No. What?
Take a guess. It's written right there.
Oh, July 2nd or 3rd?
2nd.
July 2nd is Ghostbusters?
Correct. That's the
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're familiar with... No, Jennifer, you cannot bring your cat, unfortunately. I'm so sorry.
Can I bring your cat?
No, I'm sorry. There's laws. But I do like cats. I'm excited that you wanted to bring your cat. Okay, so
she's just kidding. She wants you to know she's kidding.
If you have never been to the Robinson Film Center, I hope now's a good time to come. There's a little series called Rewind that's sponsored by Maccentric. In fact, that's how Thomas and I met. is Smackcentric was sponsoring Rewind, and we got to working together on that film series. Did you know that?
That is adorable. That's a story worthy of the film that we watched for this week's Megan. That should be my big fat Maccentric wedding.
Okay.
My big fat Maccentric Robinson Film Center wedding. And the logo, it's my big fin, and it flies, and it's boom.
Okay, I was going to tell people about the series you're sponsoring.
Tell them about the Rewind.
So Maccentric sponsors a series called Rewind, which is about cult classics and just kind of fun geek culture films.
Yeah.
And so we are kicking off July with four rewinds in 1 month.
It's big. This
big.
is big news.
So we're going to watch on, they're all at 8 p.m. So it's kind of like Megan's Movie Club, but
in person.
Yeah. Am I right about that date? Let me look at my calendar because, yeah, it's the 2nd. Yeah. Okay. So it's Thursday. Remember, because we meet here on Thursdays.
Right.
It's like same thing, except
we'll
be meeting at the Robinson.
Except it's called Rewind.
At 8 p.m. So on July 2nd, we're watching Ghostbusters, the original 1984.
Who are you gonna call?
We already did that. On July 11th, you want to tell them what we're doing on July 11th?
July 11th, we will be watching Batman Forever.
Because it is...
Batman Forever celebrates its 25th anniversary this year.
Mm-hmm.
And also, sadly, the director, Joel Schumacher, recently passed away.
Like 2 days ago or something like that.
It was last week.
So it will also be in tribute to Joel Schumacher.
Yes, who actually visited the Robinson Film Center at one time. I watched. I was there, and he was there with Nicolas Cage. And
yep.
It was made.
They're buddies.
It made for an interesting Q&A.
Okay, on July. Am I right about it? It's not July 11th. I'm telling you the wrong dates. July 2nd is Ghostbusters. July 9th is Batman Forever. July 14th is
Wakanda Forever.
Right, it's not the name of the movie.
But that's what they say in the movie.
It is what they say.
I'm saying things they say in the movie.
Right.
Like in Ghostbusters.
But what's the name of the movie?
Black Panther.
Black Panther on July 14th. I know what I did. I was looking at the June calendar, and just forgive me.
So none of these dates are correct.
The dates I'm telling you are correct.
The words you're saying.
July 14th is Black Panther. We got 2 superhero movies back to back: Batman Forever and Black Panther.
Yep.
And then our last rewind of the month. Thomas is so excited. On July 16th at 8 p.m.
You tell him.
I'll tell him.
I'm too excited.
The Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. Very exciting. Star Wars on the big screen at the Robinson Film Center. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Disney is never
happened.
Let's
I've been asking all the time.
Show their films
on a daily basis.
Can you stop talking when I'm talking?
I say to you,
you're just getting
Megan,
on my nerves.
Or can we show
you talk. Say whatever you need to say.
Can we show a Star Wars movie? And you say what? You always say Disney's not gonna let me do that. Stop asking. And then I stop asking, but then I ask again, and you make this face.
Yeah.
You're making now.
Yeah.
But they're doing it. They're doing it.
All right. So anyway, to recap, July 2nd, Ghostbusters. July 9, Batman Forever. July 14th, Black Panther. July 16th, Empire Strikes Back. We'll have trivia. We'll have
prizes.
Yeah, but we're going to do the prizes a little differently because we're being very safe and healthy, and we're not going to transmit any germs. You can look at our website for information on all of that.
They're going to be wrapped in saran wrap by me. I personally will wrap every prize in plastic after sanitizing my hands and body.
Okay, I think we're done with announcements. Can we move on?
But I'm just so excited about them. The Rewind, Ghostbusters, Batman Forever, Black Panther, Empire Strikes. That is a strong one. I don't think we'll have to do Rewind again.
Ever again?
I don't have anything more to prove.
All right. Oh, goodness. Can we be done with them?
Nah, he's fine.
You just smudged her. I'm sorry that this is backwards. Like, this is everything we're doing is no good. But it is, what does she want?
What? Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just, my mom was texting me.
Oh, they can, you're doing a live feed right now. They can hear you. You're like, oh, what does she want?
I'm usually at her house, and she just pops her head out the door, but we're down the street.
Me lemonade.
But we have our own lemonade today. So exciting. Okay, so 30 days. I know you can't read this, but that's what it says. 30 days to what? What happens in 30 days?
We get married.
Yeah!
Yeah.
You don't sound excited.
No, I'm so excited.
Okay, good.
So many things. Empire Strikes Back and getting married in the same month.
Which is better?
Oh, gosh. Don't make me answer. It's a tough one.
All right. I won't. So for our final Meghan's Movie Club of this season, perhaps it will come back in a different iteration. We chose a wedding film, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Did we not? Did you watch it?
Oh, you want me to talk again? I was going to let you talk for a moment because I've been so giddy. You
have. Do you remember the first time you saw My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Yes.
That came out in 2002.
Well, everyone went to see My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Was it a summer release?
Yes, August.
Came out in August. So that was the summer of a Star Wars film. I remember Attack of the Clones was released in 2002. And then this was an August release. And it made all the money.
All of the money.
It made so much money. And it didn't cost much money to make. No. It was, for a time, I think it was the most successful independent film or most successful.
I'll tell you. You're close.
Tell me.
It is still, holds the record.
Highest grossing.
The highest grossing romantic comedy of all time.
Not independent film?
It is one of the highest grossing independent films of all time. It's, I think, on the top 5 list of that, but it is the number 1 highest grossing romantic comedy of all time. Pretty Woman made more than that. Crazy Rich Asians made more than that. When Harry Met Sally,
it's a delightful film. It's really, it's delightful to watch.
You know what else? It holds another record, or it did for many years. I don't know why his jacket is unzipped. It's like it's got a Burt Reynolds thing going on.
He really is. He's proud of his body. Good for you.
Okay. The other record that it held for a long time is the highest grossing film to never reach number 1. But another film beat it recently, and it was the film Sing.
Oh.
Let me check our comments. 30 days, Steen. Okay. Tiana hasn't seen it in theaters, but she has watched it several times. I did also see it in theaters. It was a word of mouth thing where it came out in limited release, and people started seeing it and loved it and told their friends, and they would go back and see it again and bring their friends. And it played for almost a solid year, almost 12 months. You want to just hang out with ET, or you want to join us?
That's just ET.
What do you remember that you liked about it when you first saw it? Or did you like it when you first saw it?
I did like it when I first saw it. It was one of those movies where I saw it with the entire family, my parents and everyone,
mm-hmm.
brother, sister-in-law, I believe.
Right.
Piled in the old station wagon and
Was it in the 80s?
The local cinema. Now, we did see it together as a family, and we enjoyed it because I think that the power of this film is that we all see a little of our own glimpses,
right.
a little bit of our own families reflected.
I got a quote about that
in these characters.
From, if you are a member of our Facebook event, I posted a story, and this is from the story. It says, the single biggest key to My Big Fat Greek Wedding's appeal is its sharp observation that when it comes down to it, there are basically only 2 kinds of families in the world. Those with 2 first cousins and those with 27. Which one are you?
Closer to the second.
Yeah. So even though the movie digs into the specifics of the Greek immigrant experience, it's relatable to a whole bunch of different cultures. In fact, yes. The cast of the Greek family in the film is actually made up of Armenian actors, Italian, Jewish. So they're not all Greek, but all of these different cultures kind of can relate in one way or another. And if you don't see your own family reflected in the big, boisterous, food-obsessed Portocalis brood, where does that leave us if you're not one of them?
The Ian Miller's family.
You get to gawk at that eccentric world while relating to the light-hearted satirical jabs at Ian's uptight, bunt cake-loving wasp parents. Oh. There's something for everyone in a light-hearted, cross-cultural comedy where everybody gets teased in equal measure and everything works out okay in the end.
Yeah.
That's according to the AV Club.
It's a good one.
Tiana likes the banter, and sorry, gosh, we look really creepy. Look at us on the screen because we're leaning in like this. They made Ian a bit dorky and not just handsome, but he was very handsome too.
So handsome. So dreamy.
I liked
the
that.
lion's mane.
Yeah, the hair was a little much. I did love the love story. When I watched it, I loved the fact that she wasn't Tula wasn't this typical tiny model-looking leading lady. She's not a beauty queen, but she still gets the happily ever after. And I loved her huge family. That was a lot of fun. Now, watching it now, did you have any different feelings?
No.
I noticed for the first time that there's a level of cheese in this film that I didn't notice the first time, or that didn't bother me the first time. I think my cheese tolerance might have been lowered.
I like cheese.
I mean, I like
nothing wrong
cheddar
with
cheese.
There's nothing wrong with a little cheese. I wouldn't say it was cheesy.
Our friend Jeremy, who watches these films with us often, called it sitcom-y, and that was a good word for it.
In places.
And guess what? The director of this film, guess what he's famous for? Directing sitcoms.
Oh.
So that makes sense.
He is the director of the film.
Well, is a man who has made many sitcoms.
What is his name?
Look it up and tell us. Corey says yes. She could definitely relate it to her big old Hispanic family, who I know and love. What do you need?
That cable over there, please.
You're very needy.
I apologize.
Okay. Now you got it all over mine. Another thing that kind of bristled my feathers a little bit were these broad stereotypes. Everyone's fit into this, like, this crazy dad. I'm the crazy dad with the Windex. Or I'm the mother who can make the dad do whatever I want. And then Anne's parents were very boring and stuffy. And there was no real... I would have liked a little more depth to each of them. I would have liked to learn a little bit more about them and kind of get a sense that I knew who they were, rather than just.
I wouldn't call them stereotypes. I mean, they're. I think that it wasn't that kind of a movie.
Right. Oh, I'm saying I wish it was.
Oh, okay.
I wanted just a little bit more from them. Now, I still loved it. I still enjoyed it, but those are just a couple things that I noticed.
Right. At the end of the day, I mean, if you want to call it stereotypical, I think it was just about they possessed certain characteristics that I know coming from a similar culture. I think there are a lot of similarities between Greek and Italian families. A lot of those characteristics that you're calling stereotypes, they're accurate.
Right. But what the point of a stereotype and what's wrong about a stereotype is, while some of those things may be true, that's not all there is to the story.
Sure.
So you just get to see a little bit of it, and you don't get to see that, that there's different facets to a person's character.
Different
facets
to a person's character. If they're a plumber, they have a lot of faucets.
They do.
Right.
So you mentioned being able to relate some to the Portocalis family.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about it. In what ways did you relate?
I mean, it's a big, close family. A lot of cousins. A lot of family get-togethers. Yeah. It's very similar to my family experience, I would say. I think I saw a lot of my own father in the father character, and very protective of his children. Had certain ideas about what he would want for them. I think it's a stereotype if it's true. It's I think it rang true.
Robert says that he can relate too. More so, he didn't say he could relate to that family, but Tom is telling him that that Robert's family is like this family.
Oh, sure.
Now, do you think the Miller family is like my family?
No. Y'all are not. Didn't the dad? Isn't there a line in the movie where he describes him as toast, or the family as toast?
Right.
Yeah, you guys aren't toast.
What are we?
You're like a delicious, like a croissant.
French?
Yeah.
You think we're French?
Maybe.
No.
I don't know. But no, not toast. I wouldn't say toast.
Well, that's good. We're maybe.
But you know, but at the end, you did get to see a little personality from the parents. They loosened up a little bit.
Yeah, with some alcohol.
Had a little alcohol, and they even threw out an Opa, maybe. Opa.
Is there an Italian equivalent for Opa?
Maybe Salute.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Let's see. Did you notice anything specific watching this film in the midst of wedding planning? Did you find anything relatable there? Ken describes my family as funfetti cake. I like it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
He doesn't think we're that fun, but Ken does.
No, they're so much fun. That's what I mean. Y'all aren't uptight in when you're how would you describe the decor in the parents' house? Very like museum like.
Yes.
Yeah, sterile.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the home.
The Hostetler family is definitely not that. We got kids running all over the place.
You almost wonder if that was like what Cameron's house from Ferris Bueller's Day Off might look like on the inside. Very sterile,
very
like
quiet. Yeah, it's not quiet over there.
Clean. Right.
Especially when the grandkids are there.
Right.
Okay, wedding planning.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
There wasn't a lot of focus on that. But...
Well, no, but my point is we are wedding planning.
Right.
And this movie's about a wedding.
That's true.
So did anything kind of ring true to you? Not so much.
Maybe a little. I mean, I think that, as far as... seemed like her family did most of the heavy lifting.
Right. Yeah. They kind of took over.
Right.
They, like the bridesmaids, they picked out their own dresses and had them made, and I don't think she cared for them. No.
She did not.
But I guess she also didn't care so much. Like, she didn't care enough to change it.
Right.
But it's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of things to be done. Did you see they were sitting at the table bagging almonds?
Right.
We're having almonds at our wedding.
That's true.
Yeah. Tell us why. Do you know why?
Little tiny, little almonds in a dainty little bag with a ribbon.
But why do you have that?
Nice. Well, why don't you tell the audience why?
Because it's.
Well, it's a traditional wedding party favor, really in general,
right.
Because we have them at
life events,
yes. Your first communions, your confirmations, your weddings, and whatnot. It's just a little bag of almonds,
and he doesn't even know. But each of the almonds stands for something, and you take them home as a little gift. And it's very prevalent in the Italian culture. But I was reading up on it when we were ordering ours. It's important to the Italian culture, and then it also says Middle Eastern.
Right.
Didn't say Greek, but I mean Greek's like in between Italy and the Middle East. So
right.
So it looks like they were doing the almonds too. So anyway,
right.
Almonds.
Chocolate confetti.
That's true. I learned that too. Yeah. Anyway, each of them stand for something like health, wealth, maybe we'll hope for.
Right.
So anyway, they were bagging almonds. Susan hopes that our wedding has more Purell and less Windex. Yes, we will have Windex bottles with Purell in them, and we'll just spray it on everyone, so everyone will be sanitized. Here's a fun fact about Thomas back at the beginning of this pandemic, when we were all first becoming accustomed to using hand sanitizer and washing our hands all the time. Thomas thought that if you put hand sanitizer on your hands, that it provided some kind of a shield, so bacteria could not get on your hands.
I still maintain it provides some level of protection. It's like deflector shields for your hands.
But you're wrong.
I mean, am I wrong?
Yes.
Or has the science just not
But that is a good invention if someone could work on that, to have gloves. It's gloves. If you put on gloves, you're protected.
You maintain that a product called antibacterial soap.
It kills the bacteria that's on your hand.
Right.
But then if you get new bacteria on your hand after that, it's there. It's not proactive. You have to then again wash or hand sanitize your hands.
Are you sure about that, Willis?
100% positive.
Okay.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. Okay, so let's see. What were your favorite scenes? Favorite quotes. Go. Everyone contribute. I think Brian already said some. Oh, Ken likes it when his wife's has Mr. Miller says to his wife, "Come on, Harry," because they misspelled the name on the invitations.
Right.
Oh, and the dad makes the joke, "It's all Greek to me at the ceremony." Ha ha ha! So funny. We will not have any spitting at our wedding. This is a spit-free wedding because of germs. Typically, we would invite spitting.
Yeah, spitting normally would be encouraged, actually, but no.
I think that's not an Italian thing. That must just be a Greek thing.
No, it's a Greek thing. We don't spit. No spitting.
Ian getting beaten up by the little old lady was funny. Yes,
that was funny.
My favorite is the bundt cake.
The bunt.
Bunt.
That's
and then she puts a flour in it and says, "I fixed it."
Right.
You know what that reminds me of? Can I tell the story about your family, or will you be mad?
I mean, I guess you have to now.
Well, one time I was asked to bring a dish to Thomas's house, and I suggested to Thomas that I bring a fruit salad, and Thomas looked at me and he's like, a fruit salad? Like a salad with fruit on it? And I was like, no, it's
I
like,
said, you put that fruit salad in front of my mom.
He said, put that in front of my mom and see what she says. She would have been very polite. She wouldn't have said anything rude. But
I might be wrong about it. It's just fruit salad.
He was like, this is not something that Italians eat. It's a very white thing. And I said, it's good. You would like it if you tried it. It's delicious fresh fruit with some delicious sauce on it.
I don't know for sure that. That's not. It just didn't say to me.
But anyway, when that happened, I thought, oh, this is like the bundt cake. This is like Mrs. Miller bringing a bundt cake. All of the family scenes were funny. The dad finding the Greek origin of every word, like kimono, clearly a Japanese word. Let's see. I loved the bridesmaids taking over. I loved their awful dresses. I really love Andrea Martin, the aunt from, she's also a Second City alum, just like Nia Vardalos is. And I love her twin story where she talks about the twin that was in the lump on her back.
Right.
And
I like the meat.
She says they're going to have Ian over. And she said, well, he's a vegetarian. He doesn't eat meat. She goes, it's okay. I cook lamb.
Right. But I like the part before that where he goes, what do you mean he don't eat no meat?
He don't eat no meat. It's okay. I cook lamb.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. And then I want to give a shout out to Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else liked it? Tiana, they used to have fruitcake at all summer special occasion parties in the family. Italians love a fruitcake. I do know that, right? They love a fruitcake.
Yeah. My mom loves a fruitcake. That's why she enjoys me so much.
Oh my gosh, Stina, I didn't know this. Stina says apparently bringing casseroles to families who are grieving after a funeral is also a very white person thing to do.
I love a casserole.
Who doesn't love a casserole?
Please bring me one under good circumstances. I love it.
Oh, fruit salad, not fruit cake. Right. But fruit cake is fine too. But I love a fruit salad. It's like taking the best part of fruit, which is already good, and then making it more delicious with some sweet sauce on the top. I like it. For it. I'm going to introduce it to the Avalonis. Okay, let's see. So we talked about, this is a little indie film made for $5 million. It started out as a one-woman show that Nia Vardalos, I hope I'm saying her last name right. I'm just throwing it out there with confidence, acting like I know
That's
what I'm talking
correct.
about. Okay.
Vardalos.
She did this one-woman show at a theater in LA, and guess who came to see it?
Tom Hanks.
Close.
His wife.
Rita Wilson.
Yes.
Who is Greek. And
yes.
She said she went back home and told her husband, Tom Hanks, come see this great show. And Tom Hanks could really relate to it because he saw himself in the Ian Miller character. And so they funded it. They said, let's make a movie out of it. They had some other movie offers, but they wanted to change, there was one company that one studio that wanted to change it from a Greek family to a Hispanic family. And then Disney was going to buy it, but they wanted Aunt May, Marissa Tomei, to play the lead. But Tom Hanks came in and said, no, we want it, and we want you as the lead. So there you go. So they made it for $5 million, released it, and word of mouth, it became a huge hit. So what do you think made it such a hit? Why was it the sleeper hit of 2002?
It's authenticity.
Okay.
I think that if they had made those kind of changes, it wouldn't have stayed true to the spirit of the material in its inception. So,
and like we talked about earlier, I think everyone can like see a little bit of their family in this family. Either that or you're the Millers, kind of looking in the window at the Greek family, right? Also, I love that when she was doing this one-woman show, the way she sold it out for 6 weeks. If you had to guess,
her family,
not close. She's from Canada, so all of her family didn't live in LA.
Right.
She took flyers to every Greek Orthodox church in Southern California and packed the house for 6 weeks.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Marketing.
Okay.
What segment are we on?
We're about to start segment 2.
Has this been TMI?
Yeah.
But we didn't tell them.
We'll tell them now.
This segment has been is what we traditionally
brought to you by MacCentric.
Brought to you by MacCentric, but it's called TMI, which stands for
Thomas and Meghan's Insight.
TMI.
Okay, we did that. Now
we skipped it.
Segment 2.
Segment 2 is. Do you want to do it?
I want to do it.
Okay. Johnny 5 alive.
I'm glad that's the last time you're ever going to do that.
It's not. I don't have to be on a live feed to do it.
Okay, so our top 5 for this week. This segment is where we take turns sharing our top 5 list of a certain category, and this week it is movie weddings. Woo!
Yay!
So this could be movies about weddings, or it could be, doesn't have to be a movie about a wedding. It could be a wedding in a movie.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Do you have an honorable mention?
I have 2 honorable mentions. I would like to mention them both honorably.
So I wonder if I should, who do you think's number 1 is better? Yours or mine?
I mean, mine, of course.
Okay, so I'll go first so you can give your number 1 last. Okay, my honorable mention, and the reason it's an honorable mention is because I've already said it in a list before and I don't want to be super redundant, but it's Ready or Not. Remember we talked about it last week?
Oh, yeah.
So it's the film where, it's from 2019. It's the film where this lady marries into this board game family. And they make her play a game on her wedding night. And turns out the game is hide and seek. And she hides and they try to kill her.
Right.
So it's a horror comedy.
As you do.
Fantasy. It's fantastic. I love it. So watch Ready or Not if you haven't seen it already. Oh, look. Everyone's given their picks. We'll come back to your picks at the end. You didn't love that movie?
Fine.
Well, you don't like horror movies.
It was. I mean, it was fine. It's worth watching.
It's more funny than horror.
That was your honorable mention?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my honorable mention. It's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I have 2.
But remember, honorable mentions have to be fast.
And my honorable mention, number 1, say what you will about this film in general, but my honorable mention is from a movie called Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, yeah. That's a good pick.
It was heartwarming to see Indy finally tie the knot with Marion. And that leads into my second honorable mention.
Oh, wait, what?
What
What movie did you say?
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Did they get married?
Do you remember at the end of the film when they got married and the doors were blown open?
Yes, and the door. Yeah, okay. I thought you were going to say... Oh, yeah, I don't like that movie, so
Indiana Jones, I prefaced it with say what you will. Remember that part?
I do. What's your second honorable mention?
Second honorable mention is the wedding at the end of Robin Hood, the end of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Because Sean Connery shows up and he says, Robin of Locksley.
Is it the one where she gets married to Alan Rickman?
Not that wedding.
No,
that was gross.
Sorry, that's what I was
That's
wondering.
disgusting. Okay. Why would I choose that one?
I was wondering.
I'm talking about the good one at the end of the movie
and
where Sean Connery shows up.
Yeah.
Just Robin of Locksley.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, is it my turn for number 5?
Yes.
Okay, my number 5 is a 3-way tie. I decided to do 3 movies that are not about weddings but have weddings in them, and I'm just gonna put them all in one as my number 5. They are Steel Magnolias, The Godfather, and The Graduate.
Yeah.
So in Steel Magnolias, we have Julia Roberts kicks off with the wedding. The film kicks off with the wedding, and she says, "My colors are blush and bashful. 2 shades of pink. One is much darker than the other.
Oh, that's so spot on.
And Sally Field says her colors are pink and pink. I can do the whole movie.
You sounded just like
Thanks.
them. Like my Sean Connery.
Yeah. We're so good with
voices.
The Godfather. I do a really good Marlon Brando too.
Apollonia.
You come to me on the day
Which wedding?
Of my daughter's wedding.
Which wedding are you talking about?
The first one.
Oh, I was thinking about the wedding to Apollonia.
No. I'm talking about the first one where he says, "You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding." I've done better.
Outside your wheelhouse.
No, remember the other day I did it in the car and it was so good.
Come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah, it's better. Dang it, I should have practiced. And then The Graduate, I love it, with Dustin Hoffman banging on the window.
Yeah.
Elaine!
Right.
Elaine!
Sad.
But they
Who did she wind up marrying?
Well, they leave on a bus in her wedding dress.
Who was she supposed to be marrying? I don't remember.
Oh, some guy from college.
Oh, right. Who was in plastics.
No. Have you ever even seen this movie?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Anyway, those are 3 fun weddings from movies.
So you did 3 as your number 1?
It was a 3-way tie, and it was number 5.
Okay, so are we doing top 5s?
Yeah, that was my number 5.
Okay.
I did them quickly. There were 3.
So do I give my number 5 now?
Yeah, that's how it works.
My number 5 is the wedding from Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clone. I was thinking as I was considering these films, I said, my choices, I said, I thought this for a split second. I think I was feeling, I was a little tired.
Me or
the
yourself?
audience,
Oh,
the audience and myself.
Okay.
I said, there's not really a wedding in Star Wars. And I kicked myself. I was like, what in the world is wrong with you, son?
Even know.
There's the wedding at the end of Episode 2. It's the Horcrux, as the Harry Potter fans say.
It's Padme
and Anakin. Right, they are secretly married
with his ducktail,
without the knowledge or authorization of the Jedi Council, and it seals the road that he's walking. And guess what?
They have twins.
They did, and they did have two babies. It didn't really work out too well for them. No. But for their kids, out better. Their kids turned out fine. So
yeah, they did.
Yeah, Anakin and Padme, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
I'm going to read over all of your suggestions in just a minute once we finish, because I don't want you to steal any of mine, because we may have the same. Okay, number 4 from 2018, Crazy Rich Asians. Did you see that with me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So love it. I rewatched the trailer this afternoon to remind myself of how much I loved it. Based on a best-selling novel, which I read all 3 of them at the beach that same year. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
You read 3 books at the beach?
Yeah. This was just the first book, but there's 2 other books. It's like, I don't remember the names of the other 2.
You read 3 whole books at the beach?
Yeah. That's not the point of this conversation. So we're talking about the movie.
I was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember quite that much reading.
You're probably on your phone.
Oh.
So this film is set in Singapore. It's like the richest of the rich families that you could even possibly imagine. It's like richer than the royals. They're crazy rich, which is where the name comes from. I love Awkwafina in this movie. I love Awkwafina in every movie, but I love her a lot in this one. Michelle Yeoh is fantastic. And then Constance Wu and Henry Golding just make you want to swoon and fall in love. They're so cute. Did you like it?
It was all right.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us your number 4?
My number 4 is The Wedding from Spaceballs.
Our lists are very different.
Prince Valium. Remember, he was so sleepy. And then she ran away with Joan Rivers' robot.
Yeah. Because she's wearing her wedding dress the whole movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So, of course, I had to choose that. And then at the end, they tried the marriage again, but Lone Star shows up.
I've only seen this movie one time, and I don't really remember the plot of it.
Oh.
But it's fine.
Spaceballs, Lone Star, and Princess Vespa. That's my pin in all my choices. I'm telling you, the people that
me too.
Getting married.
Okay, my number 3 is 4 Weddings and a Funeral, which I saw already on some of your lists. 4 Weddings and a Funeral from 1994. It was the star-making turn for Hugh Grant, and boy, is he charming in this movie.
It made him a star.
It did.
Certainly
but he's
did.
super. Have you seen this film?
No.
Oh, okay. It's good. You would like it. He's just the most charming. And it's hilarious. It's really, really funny. I always forget how funny it is until I rewatch it. But it's that silly, biting British comedy. It's very, very funny. But it's also very sweet at the same time. Yeah, I love it. There's 4 weddings and a funeral. And a love story that happens in the middle of all of that. And Hugh Grant is just
delightful.
Delightful, yes. You should see it. I think you would. Yeah, maybe we'll watch it tonight after this is over. You think?
Nah.
Okay.
Not tonight.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Wedding from Princess Bride. Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together today. For love, true love. Did I redeem myself at all? No.
Yeah.
I'll go back to Steel Magnolias if I need any help. I'm really good at that.
Yeah. No, I that was solid. It's like I don't have to even watch the film because you're performing it. So yes, my number 3, Princess Bride.
All right, my number 2, The Little Mermaid. Yeah, good. Okay, I can't wait to. Oh, I know, Tiana. I'm waiting for Ken to point it out as well because I almost put it on my list. Anyway, I'm going to get to your comments in a minute. I got to stay focused. My number 2 is Father of the Bride from 1991.
Yep.
I wonder if my dad's watching. I don't think he is watching today, which is a shame because it's our last one. But Steve Martin is the father of the bride in this film in 1991. Diane Keaton is the mother. Martin Short is the wedding planner with his assistant, B.D. Wong. And they are the best part of that movie. The couple, they're kind of like peripheral. It's all about the dad in this film.
Right.
Goodness.
What was BD wrong about?
Wrong.
Oh, BD Wong.
Yeah.
Also from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he is. Mm-hmm.
And Jurassic. They brought him back for Jurassic World.
Okay, Ken finally came up with Shrek. It took him long enough. I love how Steve Martin just kind of unravels throughout this whole film as he's involved in the wedding planning.
Hot dog buns.
He's very put upon by his family. He's asked to pay for a lot of things, and it culminates when he has a nervous breakdown in the middle of the grocery store, steals some hot dog buns, and gets arrested. He has to go to jail for that.
Right.
It's
a racket
my favorite
between the hot dog bun people and the hot dog wiener people.
And he's not going to pay for the extra.
He
so he just
need those.
opens it up and takes the extras.
Right. But you can't do that. That'll get you in trouble.
Right. This is based on the 1950 film of the same name, starring, do you know who is the father in that one?
Spencer Tracy.
Correct. Do you know who the bride was? Elizabeth Taylor.
I was about to say Elizabeth Taylor.
I beat you to it.
But why did you do that?
I'm so
I knew it. Elizabeth Taylor.
It's such a sweet film, and it is especially poignant in this time of planning a wedding with Thomas and also my relationship with my parents. And it's just very, very sweet watching the relationship between a dad and the daughter.
But also,
and look, my mom and dad are here. Hey, parents.
There was Father of the Bride 2, and the original had a sequel also called Daddy's Little Dividend. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Yeah. But I did know about Father of the Bride 2. It's when Diane Keaton and her daughter are pregnant at the same time.
Yep, I remember.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy. And Martin Short's back.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Right.
They're both back. They're decorating a nursery.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Hijinks.
Hijinks. Okay, 1991, Father of the Bride. That's my number 2. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is The Godfather.
My dad likes Father
You've got the wedding.
Oh, yeah, I said that.
At the beginning of the film. You don't really see the wedding, per se. It's the reception.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Right.
Am I getting better at it?
It's might be getting worse, but it's fine. But also, there's the wedding between Michael and Apollonia.
Right.
He saw Apollonia and he's like, I like how she's put together.
Correct.
And I want to talk to her dad and say, hey, I would like to get to know her. Mm-hmm. Right. So he goes to the house. He brings gifts.
It's like what you did with my dad.
Right. Exactly what I did.
I told you, I said, don't ask my dad. You don't have to do that.
Right.
That's not how it works in our family.
He asked for permission to get to know her.
Oh, right. Did you ask my dad that?
No. did not. But he said
maybe it's because we're grown adult people.
Right. Maybe.
Probably.
But in any event, Michael and Apollonia, they get together, they get married, and then she explodes.
Oh. Spoiler alert.
Oh, come on.
Out of curiosity, what did my dad say to you when you said, I think I'm going to ask her to marry me?
I mean, Can I
guess?
Informed them.
Can I just guess what he said?
That this was a thing I was doing.
Did he say...
He said, I think that would be real good, or something to that effect.
we are tired of her. Please.
He was like,
I think that would be
finally. We've been waiting for this day. No, he just said, that sounds cool.
All right.
I said, I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. And he said, we are.
Yeah, and my mom was there too.
Yeah, she didn't say much because she had just woken for the morning.
Why'd you go over so early?
Because I had things to do.
Okay. All right, my number one movie, wedding movie, is from 1940, The Philadelphia Story.
Yeah, I almost put that on my list.
Oh, I'm so glad because I introduced you to it.
Yeah.
Starring Katharine Hepburn and Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant. Remember when we watched His Girl Friday, and it was this whole storyline of Cary Grant and his ex-wife. Like Cary Grant's ex-wife was getting remarried, and he had to stop it because he wanted to marry her again. It's a similar plot line.
A lot of talking, I'm gonna marry that girl. See, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna bring her home.
Right. So in this film, Katharine Hepburn is a socialite, a divorcee. She's divorced from Cary Grant, and she's going to remarry this guy named George Kittredge. And so there's a reporter that comes to the wedding, and that reporter's name is Jimmy Stewart. But lo and behold, Jimmy Stewart kind of takes a liking to her. And then there's Cary Grant, and he's there to kind of throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing too. So it's kind of like a love square, because we got Katharine Hepburn and her fiance, who's really not that important. His name's John Howard. We got Katharine Hepburn and Jimmy Stewart, and we got Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. And you don't know which one she's going to end up with. It's hilarious, and I love it. And my brother and I can quote it because it's got a lot of funny lines in it. And it's a good one. Please watch The Philadelphia Story.
Yeah.
Go. What's your number one?
My number one is not necessarily because I love this movie so much, because it's, I don't dislike it, but I mean, I think that just from a pure iconic standpoint, when you think of a wedding in a movie, you think of The Graduate.
Oh, you picked The Graduate. Yeah. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised. I thought you were going to put things like Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids, The Hangover. I was expecting you to put all of those kinds of movies.
I put that there just because when you think of a wedding in a movie, hold our child. When you think of a wedding in a movie, I mean, you think about
Elaine,
right, and then them on the bus together, and she's in her wedding dress.
Yep, I'm gonna read some suggestions from our friends.
Okay.
We have My Best Friend's Wedding. It was a great one. See, there are lots. You only have 5. It's a lot that get left off. So we have My Best Friend's Wedding. We have Monster-in-Law. We have The Graduate. We have The Wedding Planner. Still Magnolias. Deborah, thank you. Wedding Crashers from Brian. Anna says Father of the Bride. Elizabeth says Zootopia. That wasn't on our radar. Ken watched Ready or Not on my recommendation, and he liked it. Thanks, Ken. Oh, Guess Who? The remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac and Zoe Saldana from your Marvel. Yeah.
Galaxy and Star Trek.
Princess and the Frog.
Avatar.
Great pick, Elizabeth. Oh, gosh. Urban Cowboy, Corey. You know I love Urban Cowboy so much. In fact, Corey, funny story. I took my bridal portraits this week, and it was quite warm. And I said, my legs are sweating, mama. Because that's a line from Urban Cowboy. She says, smile, sissy, in their wedding picture. And she says, my legs are sweating, mama. Let's see. Brian says 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Muriel's Wedding, great pick. Almost made my top 5. The Proposal. The Incredibles. Deborah likes Crazy Rich Asians. Princess Bride from Anna. Little Mermaid from Elizabeth. Ken says Shrek, which does have a good wedding in it. Vicky likes the Father of the Bride version from with Spencer Tracy. And Elizabeth says Fiddler on the Roof, another great pick. Gosh, okay. And then Vicky loves The Graduate as well. The Best Man, almost put The Best Man on the list. So The Best Man, when Taye Diggs, it's one of my Hollywood boyfriends, but Taye Diggs writes a book about all of the kind of secrets from his group of friends, but he makes it into a novel. Oh. So it's like fiction, but it's real. But accidentally, it's not published yet, but accidentally all of his friends read it the weekend of the wedding, and it causes drama.
Didn't he also help Stella get her groove back?
Yeah, he did.
Gosh, that Taye Diggs. Yeah, he's coming
something, man.
Handy.
All right.
He's also Fast and Furious.
Is he?
Days, isn't he?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Is he not in Fast and Furious?
I've never seen a Fast and Furious film, but I don't think he's in it.
That.
No. He's on Broadway.
Is Taye Diggs in Fast and the Furious? I've only seen one of the movies with the Furiosity.
He's not in that movie.
Fastness.
I would know. I would know if he was in those movies. It would be a reason for me to watch them, and I haven't ever watched them.
All right.
Oh, Tiana met Morris Chestnut in Shreveport. Tell us. Best Man also has a sequel called The Best Man Holiday, which is also a delight. Same people. They somehow are still friends after the fiasco of the first wedding. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next segment. Ready?
Taye Diggs is in the Fast and the Furious. You're making me doubt my movie knowledge.
He is?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should watch one.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to. Look, Tiana says it's Tyrese.
But so why does this say Vin Diesel and Taye Diggs Fast and the Furious? I don't know. Anyway, I was wrong.
I'll do some more research. But okay, next segment.
Next segment is
that's the end of that segment, by the way. You hold ET?
Yeah. Fight Club.
Great. Okay. Morris Chestnut was in Detroit Airport. Wow. It wasn't even like a work thing. You didn't even interview him. It was just a random meeting in the airport. Awesome. Working at the bookstore at the time and saw him walk by. Did you chase him, Tiana? Did you chase him down and say, Morris? Hello?
It is Tyrese. I got the name
so someone
confused.
else got it wrong.
I'm sorry.
I would have known. Okay, so here's our Fight Club. We have George Portocalis, the dad from this film, versus George Banks from Father of the Bride. So Steve Martin versus the father from A Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh man, I mean that's a good one because they're both
a little unhinged,
mostly unhappy about the situation. Mm-hmm. They're not super happy about the situation. Yeah. There's a lot of pent up frustration and anger.
Yeah, agreed. A lot of stress building.
Right.
So here's what I think about Gus. Tell me what you think Gus has going for him. He's got pent up anger. He's unhappy. He can just direct his rage at this other father. Right. What else? I think he's determined and strong-willed.
But they're both nice men. We're gonna start with Gus's pros. Is this a battle? Is this a battle of wits?
Both.
Or physical? Like if they were to get into fisticuffs.
But it's both. It's like you don't know. Like you don't know how the argument's going to pan out.
They're having a disagreement, and we want to know who's going to come out.
So Gus, I think he's determined. He's strong-willed.
Yes.
He's an immigrant, so you know that means he's built of tough stuff.
Tough stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Bold, and he has a secret weapon, Windex.
Oh, that's true. You could pull out that Windex. Now, right. I
feel like that could come in handy. You could spray it in the opponent's eyes.
Steve Martin's character from Father of the Bride, he has sneakers.
He does have sneakers. I would categorize George Banks as maybe in a little bit better shape than Gus.
Well, yeah, I think he's got a little bit of youth on his side at that point in time. And if things got out of hand with those sneakers, he could just run right out of it.
Yeah, I forgot about the sneakers.
He couldn't catch
him. Really good.
He couldn't catch him.
The cons, what they have working against them, Gus can get a little pouty. You can be a little pouty sometimes too. Yeah. And I'm not super impressed with his lack of confidence in his daughter's ability to get an education. Like that worried me a little bit. He needs to be a little more willing to let his daughter at 30 years old seek college education for herself.
He's old school.
And then Steve Martin's con is he tends to lose it pretty easily.
Right.
And wind up in jail.
Right.
So what do you think the verdict is? Who's going to come out on top of that one? Let's see what they say. We say Joanne says yes. Gus has Windex. George Banks has the sneakers. Yes, he can run away from the Windex. I think I'm going with George. I think George is going to come out the winner.
I don't know about all that. I feel like I'm going to give the edge to Mr. Portocalis because I feel like he's got a more cunning mind.
Yeah.
I feel like he's creative, problem-solving kind of guy.
Right. I mean, I think anyone that can come from one country and start a new life in another, you're adaptable.
Yeah.
You're like I said, you just made a tough stuff. You're going to be able to. Steve Martin's grown up in Southern California his whole life.
He seems like a little bit of a pansy, honestly, and I think Mr. Portocalis
does throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah, he's got tough stuff.
But so does Gus. Gus throws a temper tantrum too.
And if he needed to call upon the dozens of cousins and relatives,
everyone. Let's see. Joanne is going with Gus, but everyone else is going with George.
All right, that's fine.
I think it's a fair argument. Okay, so we'll call it for George. It's tight race, but we're going to call it for George. All right, and then we have our final segment. So we're not going to announce next week's movie.
Oh, it's called Trivia Timeout. And if I had a whistle, I'd blow it because it's timeout.
So since Joanne has a very good point. Gus has his family.
Well, that's what I said.
Backup.
Right. Yeah, he could call upon all of those young men. Your Nicks.
All named Nick.
Yeah, they're all of the. He has an army of Nicks.
Yeah.
What does George have?
Sneakers.
Annie.
Yeah.
And she's tough.
Yeah.
She's shooting baskets.
Well, she has Martin Short and BD Wong.
Right. I'm going with the Portocalis.
Well, I might be swayed.
Okay.
Okay. So this final trivia round is about top grossing romantic comedies. Because remember we said that My Big Fat Greek Wedding is still the number one top grossing romantic comedy of all time. So we're going to look back at years past and you're going to guess the number one romantic comedy from that year.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
I do.
You can just read these little points.
Okay. So the
don't
top
read the
grossing
answer.
Romantic comedies by year. So number one.
Mm-hmm. Don't read the answer.
This film was the top grossing romantic comedy of 2017.
Yes, 2017. Not that long ago.
2017, this film came out. It was the top grossing romantic comedy.
Okay, read the next one. Come on.
Number two, the romantic leads are Kumail Nanjiani and Zoe Kazan.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also starring Holly Hunter and Ray Romano.
You struggled with the Italian name for some
Ray
reason.
Romano.
Okay.
Pakistan-born comedian and grad student Emily Gardner fall in love but struggle as their cultures clash. When Emily contracts a mysterious illness, Kumail finds himself forced to face her feisty parents, his family's expectations, and his true feelings.
Sandy with the win, The Big Sick. Good job, Sandy.
The Big Sick.
This is another example of this culture clash romantic comedy. And it's the Pakistani culture versus her parent, Emily's, I guess, white bread culture, like toast.
Right.
And it's quite funny. It's very, very good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It came very close a few times to making it into Megan's Movie Club. So I recommend it. Go check it out if you haven't. So good job, Sandy, with the win. You want me to do number two?
Sure.
We'll switch places. Okay. Number two, the top grossing romantic comedy of 2008. You remember that year? No?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
The romantic leads are Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher. Also starring a guy named Rob Corddry. Hope I'm saying his name right. He's a funny man. Lake Bell and Jason Sudeikis. Here's the synopsis. A man and a woman are compelled for legal reasons, there's a clue, for legal reasons, to live life as a couple for a limited period of time because a large amount of money is at stake.
That's something.
Yep. They have, it's $3 million, in fact. So if they can stay married, they get to, for I don't remember how long, they get to keep the $3 million.
Cameron Diaz. Ashton Kutcher.
Stop.
Well,
you ruined my banter.
I apologize.
Joanne got it. It's called What Happens in Vegas.
Oh, I thought that people weren't getting it, so I was revisiting some of the facts. But someone got it.
Mm-hmm. Someone got it. Good job, Joanne. The correct answer is What Happens in Vegas. So they meet in Vegas. They both live in New York, but they meet in Vegas, and they have a little bit to drink, and they wind up married. And they are going to get a quick annulment, but when they're arguing about getting the annulment, she gives him a quarter, says, call me, because they didn't have cell phones in 2008, apparently. He uses the quarter to put in the slot machine, and he wins $3 million. So now there's this pickle, because she gave him the quarter, he pulled the slot. So they want to split the money. They go to the court to split the money.
What happens to the pickle?
There's no real pickle.
You said there's.
But the judge, who I think is Dennis Miller, says you got to stay married if you want this money. And so then
Dennis
they have to.
Miller is in that movie.
Okay, there we go. Number 3. This one can be yours since you jumped all over mine.
The film was the top-grossing romantic comedy of 1992.
1992.
The leads are Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, and Halle Berry.
But did you see how Anne was capitalized?
And Halle Berry.
Because typically you only have 2 romantic leads.
But there's 3.
Correct. This is a love triangle situation.
It's a love boomerang situation. Yeah. Is what that is. That sounds delightful. I've never seen this film.
Wow.
It also stars Martin Lawrence, David Alan Grier, Grace Jones, and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
So many people in that I know. A successful executive and womanizer finds his lifestyle choices have turned back on him when his new female boss turns out to be an even bigger deviant than he is.
Okay, Robert got it correct.
Boomerang.
Did you notice you said the word boomerang? Said it's a love boomerang. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because I'm bad at this game.
You really are. But good job, Robert. It is the film Boomerang.
It's a love boomerang.
It's a love boomerang.
Yeah, because it has the 3 points.
Heavens, you're just a lot to handle.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4.
Crap.
Almost done.
Almost did it. I didn't know.
Okay, this film was the top grossing romantic comedy of 1986. So we're going back to the 80s. Top grossing romantic comedy of 1986. The romantic leads are Paul Hogan. That should do it right there. And Linda Kozłowski. I'm not good with those Polish names.
Kozłowski.
Kozłowski.
Yeah.
I don't know that she did much else other than this series.
Well, you know, she is his real life wife.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know. Okay, let's see. An American reporter goes to the Australian outback to meet an eccentric crocodile poacher and invites him to New York City. Let's see. Anna wins. Yeah, she didn't give the full name, but Dundee is close enough. It spawned 2 sequels in 1988 and 2001. Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, let's not talk about that 3rd sequel.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's so good.
Thanks.
That's from the first film.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you can misspell. That's fine, Sandy. Okay. Lastly.
Number 5.
Number 5.
This film was the top grossing romantic comedy of 1979. The romantic leads are Dudley Moore, Julie Andrews, and Bo Derek.
So what does that tell you when there's 3 romantic leads?
That it's a romantic boomerang.
Also known as the romantic triangle.
Yeah. A Hollywood composer goes through a midlife crisis and becomes infatuated with a sexy, newly married woman.
Correct.
I've never seen this movie, but I know that there's a slow motion scene.
Oh, Robert. with the wind.
She's running on the beach in slow motion. And what's the song from 10? It's there's a song from the soundtrack.
I think you're thinking of Arthur. If you get stuck between the moon and New York City.
I think that's from 10.
No, it's not. It's from Arthur. But let's see. Who did I say won? Robert won that one. It is the number 10. And I actually haven't seen this movie, but I was reading about it today, and it just sounds like he sounds like a terrible person. He gets into lots of bad things. But I want to watch it.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I want to watch it. Okay, so that concludes this very long season of Megan's Movie Club. We started in mid-March. So how many months is that we've been doing this?
March, April, May, June. 4 months?
4 months, guys. You've been with us for 4 months. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like I said, we will be back. We will figure out what Megan's Movie Club is going to look like moving forward. Thomas has big plans, which is funny because it's not called Thomas's Movie Club. It's called Megan's Movie Club.
It was last week. It was Thomas's Movie Club.
Last week. I gave you 1 week.
Yeah.
But we will be back, so stay tuned. Also, in the meantime, those of you that are local, because I know some of you are watching from out of town, but we will open our theater on July 1st with the Quarantine Cat Fest. And then we have 4 rewinds coming up, which are very much like Megan's Movie Club. Yeah. So to remind you again, let me get my dates right. July 2nd is Ghostbusters. July 9th is Batman Forever. July 14th is Black Panther, and July 16th is The Empire Strikes Back. So we will be hosting
Mic drop.
Yeah. We will be hosting it together just like we do here. The only difference is we'll be live in the theater, which is even better. And like I said, we have lots of social distancing plans in place. Coolest thing we have hand sanitizer, we have seat wipes, we have all kinds of cool things. The coolest thing I think is that our new ticketing system, it's our old ticketing system, but it's been updated, and it automatically puts 6 feet between your party and the next party. So you don't have to worry about someone sitting too close to you. We're enforcing that with our ticketing software. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. We're going to get to see movies again in the theater. We're going to do it safely and responsibly. And we're going to have so much fun with our Rewind series. We're going to do it all in July. And then when that's done, we're going to get married.
Yep.
And then we'll get back to just regular business.
And when's that Empire date again?
July 16th.
Gosh.
But our first one is next Thursday. So if you're thinking about tuning into Facebook Live next Thursday, don't do it. Just drive on down to the Robinson Film Center.
This Rewind series, it's the biggest thing happening in my life in July. It's insane. These titles. Empire Strikes Back? Come on. In the Robinson Film Center? Come on out and see that. I've already seen there's been a lot of buzz online.
We're getting so many sweet people are saying nice things to us.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, they've enjoyed hanging out with us. We've really enjoyed hanging out with you.
We hope you've enjoyed watching as much as we've enjoyed being here.
Brian pointed out a good thing. All tickets for the entire month of July are $5.
$5 like a foot long at Subway.
Yeah. And guess what else? Popcorn, any size, $5.
That's crazy.
I want to say fountain drinks, any size, $3.50. Any candy.
You want to say it?
No, I said it.
You're the boss.
I said it, and that was right.
Say it.
And then any candy for $2.50. So crazy low prices. We don't want there to be any obstacle between you and coming back to our theater. So we hope that you'll give us a try. We're still going to be doing some really cool stuff on Facebook. We'll still be doing some family matinee videos that Angie and Rachel have been doing a fantastic job with.
So funny.
And then we'll still be doing our Classic Black Cinema series on Facebook through the month of July. That's led by Tanisha Morris. If you haven't seen her videos yet, please check them out. They come out every Wednesday. She's fabulous. And then we'll be in the theater. So thanks, guys. We love you. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the past 4 months, and we will see you soon. Bye. Push the button now.